So I just want to show you a quick tutorial on image transfer, starting with a sketch that I did in graphite pencil in my sketchbook. So you see it here, just in a regular pad of paper. And I'm going to make a photocopy of it. And I've kind of learned the hard way that I needed to make the copy a little bit darker. So that's what you see me doing here. So I'm going to lay the page upside down. And then I had done some test sheets, so I knew that I needed to darken it up just a little bit. And as the image comes out, I'm just inspecting it to make sure that there wasn't anything on the glass and that it's clear all the way around, because whatever is on that page is going to transfer onto the contact paper. Looks good. So moving on to step 2. Adding the contact paper. So this is just a regular roll of contact paper, the kind you line shelves with, and it's matte finish, which is very important, not the shiny stuff. Matte finish. And so I've cut a piece big enough to fit over the top, there you go, of my image. This is my photocopy I'm working on now. And the trial with the contact paper is it's often curled up because it's been in a roll, so I usually run it back and forth across the counter, the edge of the counter like that, to try to straighten it out and keep it from curling back on me. And I'm just going to start with one edge and kind of doggy ear that one edge back. And then you have to be really careful here, because if you pull too hard, you're going to crease the contact paper, and then that'll show on your image. So I'm just trying to get that edge. Sometimes I use a ruler, and I'll just fix it to the edge of the ruler and do that. But I'm trying to get it to a point where I can just flip back. There you go. That under layer. All right, and I'm going to lay that down nice and tight across the top above her head. And little by little, because I don't want any bubbles or anything, I'm just going to pull on the under layer, and then with my left hand, I'm smoothing down to make sure that there aren't any bubbles. And I'm just going to go all the way down the image like that, really slowly. And then I'm going to press it down, make sure it's good and tight. There's no bubbles or anything like that. It's okay that the corner's not stuck down, because I'm actually going to cut that just a little bit. Sometimes I cut before, sometimes I cut it after. I'm not really sure how I'm going to use this image, so I'm just going to cut off a little of the excess. And we're ready to move to the third step, which is going to be soaking her. All right, so I have filled the kitchen sink with some warm water, not hot, but fairly warm. And I just drop the image in, cover her up, and let her soak for a good 15 or 20 minutes. So after about 20 minutes, and I can see that some of the paper's already peeling off, I'm going to lift it. I don't want to dry it with dish towel or anything like that, because the fuzzies from the dish towel will get on it. So I just kind of shake it off and then pull and see what I get. And I got most of it. That was actually pretty good. Obviously there's some left, so I'm going to pull off as much as I can. And then there's still residue of the paper, so I'm just going to take her back under the water, sticky side up, and very carefully I'm rubbing back and forth with my fingers in the warm water. And this is the part you have to be very careful, or the graphite will scratch off. So just, I don't want to take anything but the tip of my finger, just kind of the pad of my finger actually, rubbing back and forth. I still see some places left, so I got to dunk her again. This usually takes a while. Sometimes it takes me a good 20 minutes to get it all off. So that's looking pretty good. I'm just going to shake off the excess water. Again, I don't want to use a dish towel or anything like that. Lay it on the counter. I'm still kind of feeling a few little paper fuzzies. So it concentrates in the area where the graphite's concentrated. So anyway, all right. She just needs to dry. It's going to take a while. Don't use a heat gun or a hair dryer or anything like that. Just let her dry, sticky side up. Looking pretty good. All right, so now I can take her, it's a little moisture on it, but pretend that she's really dry. I can take her and use her as an overlay on a collage, which I'll show you how to do in part 2. Thanks for watching.